Good afternoon, students. So in this video we'll see how we can construct the molecular orbital of water using the salts of water. We already know the salts of water to be of the form. I think all of you will be thorough, like how we can prepare the salts of water. So here we have the salts of hope you all will remember the salts of water molecule as A1 symmetry has the form 1 by square root of 2 into B1 plus B2 and that of B1 symmetry will be of 1 by square root 2 of B1 minus B2. Exactly similar to that of this, we have the salts of the atomic orbitals of hydrogen. Exactly, instead of B1 and B2, we are replacing it by the wave function of 1s A electron and 1s B electron. So you have once again two different salts of A1 symmetry as 1s psi of 1s A plus 1s B, and it is represented like this, in which you can see that both the faces are in the same side. So there is no nodes. There are no nodes. So this is a lowest energy salt. So this the another one is B1 symmetry, because it can be interchangeably, it can be B1 or B2, that doesn't matter, but the exactly similar to that of B1 minus B2, you have here psi of 1s A minus 1s B. So here we have the two different salts of hydrogen 1s orbital. So it is of the form, this is a combination and this is difference. So two different salts. Okay, so we are, this is not normalized, so let us not worry much about the normalization or the numerics, because we are just worried only about the symmetry. So what is of more concern to us is the salts belong to two different symmetries, that is A1 symmetry and also B1 symmetry. That is what we have to remember. Now let us look the same way into the valence orbitals of the oxygen. So in oxygen you have the valence electrons are, what is the configuration for oxygen? So it is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. So there are actually s orbitals and p orbitals. So what does your s orbital look like? So s orbital is totally symmetric. So its wave functions are just like a sphere. So the coordinates of the sphere is of the form x squared, y squared and z squared. So this belongs to A1 symmetry. So the s orbital is having what symmetry? A1 symmetry. S orbital is having A1 symmetry. Similarly, now looking into the p orbitals. The p orbitals are 2px, 2py and 2pz. So 2px, all these three orbitals are oriented along x, y and z axis respectively. So they will have the symmetry like how the axis transform as. Okay, so if x axis is transforming as B1 symmetry, this px also has the B1 symmetry, right? So if y axis is transforming as B2, it is also having py symmetry. And if z axis is transforming as A1, then it is having A1 symmetry. So now we have got the symmetries for both the hydrogen atomic orbitals, salts, and also we have got the symmetries for oxygen valence orbitals. Now they are going to combine to form the molecular orbitals like this. So they are going to combine like this. Now the combination is represented here. So this side, right side, we have the salts of the hydrogen and also atomic orbitals of hydrogen, and in the left side you have the salts of oxygen. So here what we have to remember is only the orbitals of the same symmetry will combine to each other to form the bonding orbitals and the anti-bonding orbitals. In order to form the bonding orbitals, there will be lesser number of nodes or no nodes, and in order to form the anti-bonding orbitals, there will be more number of nodes than that of the bonding orbitals. More the number of nodes, higher is the energy. This you could have already seen in the previous video. Now, the orbitals are arranged according to the symmetry. So, you have your 2s orbital which is having A1 symmetry, and 2p orbital which is having 3 symmetries, that is A1 in the case of your PZ. PZ is having A1 symmetry, and PX is having B1 symmetry, and PY is having B2 symmetry. So, the 3 symmetries are represented like this. Okay. Now, these 3 orbitals, and here in the SALC, there are actually the SALC which are, that is the wave functions are reinforcing pattern. So, this is symmetric SALC which with the symmetry A1, and they are opposite to each other. So, that is not a symmetric SALC, that is having the B1 symmetry. Okay. So, they are going to combine with each other. Now, this A1 symmetry 1s is going to combine with the A1 SALC to form a bonding orbital like this. Okay. So, and the anti-bonding orbital also will have the A1 symmetry, but the high-lying A1 symmetry. So, this SALC is going to combine with the A1 to form the high-level A1 symmetry to form this anti-bonding orbital. So, 2 orbitals have the A1 symmetry. And then, next orbital which is having, see for example, see you also have another orbital which is also having next higher energy with the PZ orbital is combining with your symmetric SALC. So, there are 3 possible orbitals with A1 symmetry. Okay, yes. And what is their energy? This is having no nodes, so it is lowest energy. And then with the increasing number of nodes, there are going to be increasing energies. So, this is having 2 nodes, so it is the high-lying energy. Okay, and then next B1 is going to combine. Now, the B1 orbital, it is going to combine with the B1 symmetry wave function or the SALC. Okay, so the B1 is PX orbital. So, 2p x is going to combine with your SALC of this symmetry with the least number of nodes in the bonding pattern, and the same thing with the highest number of nodes in the anti-bonding pattern. So, 2 B1 symmetry orbitals are there. Okay, so B1 bonding is over, B1 anti-bonding is over. So far we have seen 3 A1s. The first A1 is due to the combination of 2s orbital and also the symmetric SALC, A1 SALC of hydrogen, and the second A1 is due to the symmetric SALC PZ SALC of this one, and also the A1 SALC of hydrogen, and its anti-bonding orbital is going to be here. It's anti-bonding. See, bonding and anti-bonding, how you can see? See, I have the same symmetry here, but here opposite symmetry. So, there are 2 nodes. So, high-lying. So, next remaining is P2Y. So, P2Y doesn't have any orbital to match with, because only the SALC is having A1 and B1 symmetry. The PY is remaining just like that. So, what is going to happen? This is going to just be the non-bonding orbital. So, it is going to be in the same energy. It's not going to be either stabilized or destabilized. So, this is your MO diagram. So, what is the important thing that you have to know? The symmetry only matches. When the symmetry matches, only then the orbitals will undergo bonding interactions. When the symmetries don't match, they will remain as a non-bonding electrons. Now, what is there? How many number of electrons are there totally? So, there are actually 8 electrons. That is 6 from oxygen and 2 from hydrogen. So, those 8 electrons have to be populated. So, you can see that the first orbital is getting 2, next 2, 2, 2, and finally, so this is your highest occupied HOMO. This is your HOMO. So, lone pair is your HOMO. And then this is your LUMO. So, HOMO is having what symmetry? B2 symmetry, and LUMO is having A1 symmetry. So, you can find the symmetry of both the HOMO and LUMO by using the SALCs. So, this is what you have to understand. So, what we have to know, how you have to construct the molecular orbital. First of all, the SALCs of the atomic orbitals of hydrogen have to be derived, and those SALCs are going to be combining with the valence orbitals of the oxygen, and they are going to form the molecular orbitals. The orbitals of the same symmetry are going to match. First of all, the A1 symmetry is going to match with your SALC of A1 symmetry to form the bonding orbital, and then the A1 symmetry of PZ is going to match with the SALC of A1 symmetry to form the bonding, and then when the nodes increase, they become the anti-bonding orbital. Similarly, when the B1 symmetry is going to match with the SALC of hydrogen with B1 symmetry, that is going to give a bonding and also a anti-bonding interaction, and in the middle you have your B2 symmetry, which does not involve in any bonding. Why? Because it does not have any orbital or the SALC to match. So this is the bonding and anti-bonding interactions in water molecule. So this, hope you would have understood the essence of molecular bonding. Thank you.